Hello everybody and welcome to I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Yes, you heard me right. I want to eat your pancreas. Anime movie review. Watched this movie today. I've had it on Blu-ray for a while and I just decided, you know what? Today's as good a day as any. Let's watch this. And bloody hell, I sort of knew what to expect. But, you look at the title and you're thinking, what's this going to be about? And then the opening starts and it's her funeral. I can say it because it's the first scene of the movie. It's not really a spoiler in that case. Yeah, it opens to her funeral, and it's just like, oh, I see. I'm gonna cry, aren't I? And you do, and it's just a bit. Oh, yeah, definitely. It was a good movie. I thought it was pretty damn enjoyable. Had a big old lump in my throat for a large section of it. How I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, probably, without any spoilers, just to give my general overview of stuff like animation and, just general stuff. And then I'll go into the spoilers. So if you don't want to know spoilers, don't watch that last section. It works out like that. Good stuff. But anyway, let's start with the easy stuff, I guess we'll say. What it's about. Basically, the girl has, they never say it's cancer, but I sort of took the implication that it's pancreatic cancer. Could be wrong on that, they just say an illness, but, she's going to die from it. So, putting two and two together and getting, the right answer. And she meets this guy, the main character, and then they go do stuff. Basically, the whole movie is just them doing stuff, right? It's like, she's got so and so long left to live. Let's go do things. And that's basic, in incredibly broad strokes. That's what the movie is. And it's great because because of the way it's done, you get to know these characters, how they act, how they react, they get closer, you get closer to them and learn more about them. You sort of figure out, you kind of forget that she's definitely going to die. Because we've seen the funeral and everything. You forget that. And then there's a point, for me, it was, no, I shouldn't say just in case, but you get to a point where you have that sort of realization that, oh, she's going to die. Like that. And if you're one of them people that can sit stone-faced through it and be like, I know she's going to die the whole time, so I will not get attached. I admire you, because then you won't be like me and be very distraught when it happens. So yeah, it's very, it is good at that. It makes you forget, and then you have that realization that, oh yeah, even when they're talking casually about it, because they're talking so casually, you don't really, it doesn't register, if that makes sense. And you get to, wherever the point is for you. I'm not going to say when it was for me, because spoilers at this point. And you're like, oh yeah, right. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, the animation, we'll talk about it quickly. It looks great, personally. I've never heard of the studio in my life, but it looked great, I thought. Don't know if that was just my TV. My TV makes anime look really good. I don't know the make or exactly how it works, but I've looked on other TVs and it doesn't look as good. And this one looked good, so there's that. Music, also good. Everything fit the scenes it was attached to, which I know sounds like a very broad compliment, but hey, it was good. The actual songs were good, like the band, the opening, the ending, whatever you want to call them. They were good, and the background tracks were good. Definitely fit where they were placed and stuff as well. Character-wise, I guess we'll briefly touch on that. The main two characters, I thought, that's the meat of your movie, right? There are other characters, which I'll talk about in just a sec. But you got your main male lead, your main female lead. They're the crux of your movie, sort of in a similar way to like a Your Name or a Weathering with You, where it's like there are other characters, but you're here for the main ones, basically. And everyone else is sort of in the background. Like the guy who gives out gum. I don't know if he has a name. I don't think they ever say it. But the gum guy, yeah, but I think they're done really well in the way they interact, and, that feels really good. Everyone else sort of just plays a role. Like, you got the best friend who doesn't trust the dude. You got the angry popular kid. You got the parents, obviously. There's not too many characters, really, in the grand, when you go through them all. But everyone plays their role well and good. Sort of do kind of wish we got a little bit more maybe with them. Although I don't. That they obviously weren't the focus. You know, focus was on these guys and their life, basically, which is a common theme in the movie, is life, life and death, obviously. But it's done. I can't really talk too much about that because, I mean, it would be spoil. There's stuff in that I don't really want to go too deep because I'll talk about it in spoilers. You know what? If you haven't seen it, go see it and then come back and come watch the spoiler bit in a minute. Let me just check, see what else we got. Despite the way the movie's set up, right? You start with her funeral, you know she's gonna die. The movie's not about that, really. It's not about her her last time before she dies or anything. It's more about living, if that makes sense. I know other people have said this as well. I'm not the first person to say this, but it's the best possible way to describe it. The movie's not about dying, it's about living and what makes life worth living and all that. And I'm getting choked up talking about it because, boy, when we get the spoilers, it got me. I'm not, I'm man enough to admit, yeah, I got me. It got me good. At various points, it was, yeah, definitely good. I don't really have much else to add. I think I've talked about most of the stuff I can talk about without going proper into spoils. Maybe the one, not complaint, because for me, time flew by. You could make the argument that nothing really happens, but then I would make the argument back. That's sort of the point. It's not meant to be there is not a plot. The plot is, here's what they're doing, and, before she died, and it's them getting closer, and that is the plot, There's no world-ending threat. It's not like in Your Name came out 4 years ago. I can talk about the plot of that movie. There's no, big threat they have to deal with or anything. A Silent Voice, had the central thing. I said I was going to spoil it. I'm not going to sort of spoil them. Go watch them as well. Do a marathon. Watch all 3 in a row with this. I thought it was really good, and I'm glad that I didn't have the big stuff spoiled, the stuff later on. I knew sort of what it was about. I knew she died her funeral opens on her funeral. I knew about that, and I sort of knew it was just about them. It was about the dude and the girl, and that's basically my end of my knowledge. So when we get to the later stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute, it really, I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't go in completely blind, with it's called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. What's this about? Very, very. I'm glad I had. I mean, it's been on my radar because of the title. I think is a good way to put it, because you look at the title and you think, what the hell is this about? You look at it's is this some borderline etchy whatever? No, it's probably the complete opposite of that, honestly. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Would very much recommend it. It definitely made me think, and I think if a movie leaves me thinking, it's done a really good job. So there's that. Anyway, we'll get on to spoilers in a bit. If you are leaving now because you don't want to know spoilers, thank you for watching for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, let's do spoilers quick. So, really, if you don't want spoilers, you need to go, because I'm going to literally jump into it now. So, the way she died, which, I mean, it was brilliant, it was genius, honestly, because you expected her to die. Everyone did, and they'd set it up so that it would be her disease. And if you saw how she died coming, yes, you could. It wasn't completely out of nowhere. There was stuff earlier on with the foreshadowing, on the news or whatever, and they talked about it in class, I think. They definitely spoke about it, but it just felt like background noise. It wasn't going to be relevant, and then it was, and she dies via a stabbing, just out of nowhere, a stabbing. You don't see it happen. You and the main character learn about it from a news report on TV, and legitimately shook me. You can normally see where things are going. Things get a little bit formulaic when you watch a lot of anime or a lot of movies or a lot of anything in general. This got me. I said out loud, just what? I did not see it coming. I was like, no, there must be some mistake. And they were like, she was alive for a minute, but she has now been pronounced dead. I was like, we're not even going to get a goodbye. That's it. It's done. It's just like that. And a part of me was like, but that, I was like, shit, that's not what we want. She didn't deserve that. And then like later on, towards the end of the movie, I was thinking, that's the point. Of course she didn't deserve it. Of course that's not the way it should have happened. But that's the point of doing it, She even says earlier on, is like, you should live every day like your last, because you don't know if a freak accident's going to happen the next day. And that's exactly how it happened, and it was Christ, it really got me. And like I said, made me think proper. That whole last stretch of the movie, some people said they didn't like the ending. I thought it was really well done. And about how he, by meeting her, the whole movie, he found his reason to live and everything. And it was just, yeah, I really enjoyed it, I thought it was done really well. The message was good, like how she was like, you live through other people, sort of. And it was, yeah, it was really, really hit me, I'm going to be honest, really hit me hard. The part of me does wish for some sort of happier ending, but, there's also, because that's just what we want, we want a happy ending to a story. We want, and this, yeah, because it came out of nowhere, and it felt like it cut the story off a little bit. But like I said, that's the point. It's not meant to be some fantasy. We're not getting any mystical lights to come down and resurrect the people that have died, It's not how this is going to work. You just got to move forward and keep going through that. And I liked that when we got to the post-credits scene, where he's moved, he's got friends now. She's basically saved his life in a weird way. And it was good. I really enjoyed it, I'm sorry if I'm not articulating my thoughts very well. I know it's meant to be a review, but I do these pretty off the cuff, and this one hit me hard. I've said before, there are movies I find better. This ain't my favorite. It's not my favorite anime movie, but it's certainly one of the ones that have made me think the most, and that's powerful, man. That is powerful. I can't imagine, like, if I'd seen this in a theater, like, that would have been, I don't know what I think I was a bit speechless afterwards, just because I was like, I don't know how to. I was still processing it, if that makes sense. It was really good. I thought it was really well done. I don't know. I know it's based on a novel. I don't know how much they cut out, but I can't personally think of much more they could have added to this to make the story any more complete, if that makes sense. I'm sure there is some stuff that is cut out, but yeah, I thought it was pretty damn good myself. Not perfect, because for me, I don't think there can ever be something that is truly perfect, but if it leaves you thinking, I think that's really what really what it was about. And the whole situation, not situation, that's the wrong word, the whole theme, I guess, of what does it mean to be alive, when is life worth living, and everything. It was, as I said, really got me, and how he, originally in the beginning he was like, everyone is talking about me, everyone thinks this about me, and that he's like, well, no, she's like, did you ask him that? And they're like, no, that's just what I think, and it's like, and then you see his growth throughout. It like I said, you could probably tell it hit me, and it made me think. So, I think it was really well done, personally. Maybe that is just because the last segment is designed to just hit you really hard. Thought it was really well done. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap this up here. I don't have too much else to talk about. Thank you, everybody, for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. There's more on the channel. I'll be doing a video saying what I'm watching the next coming season at some point. I'll see you in whatever you decide to watch next. Take care, and bye, guys.